live from the Butterfly Room, Art of Healing. Don't mind me. And this late broadcast, we were hosting the Miles Academy Girls Club today for their winter break. They came by and enjoyed some capoeira. They learned how to transplant plant babies and separate the roots without damage for the Gardening is Fun program. And then they finished it up with some painting sponsored by Digital Plastic. They created some works for the Art for Humanity project. I'm looking forward to minting those as NFTs. Anyways, enough of the introduction. I know why you're here. Thank you for joining me. This is Lisa Leggz anchoring love. And we have the foundation deck in hand. Wow. Okay, we already have two cards jumping out. We have self-awareness 3.3. I am vulnerable for me. And mental transmutation 1.3. Thoughts become things. Okay, we're going to leave those to the side real quick. And definitely see what the resonation deck has in store. The title today is A Mercury Day Love Message for Transmuting with Love and Gratitude. A lot of times we have situations that are challenges, right? They're setbacks that are setups for a step up. But you cannot see that the setback is a setup for a step up unless you look at it from a different perspective with love's lenses that can guide us in the direction to see where the gift is waiting for us. Now, we have 3, 4, 8. Okay, so we have 10 cards today. What a big message. Inner Child 2.3. I love sleep like a baby. Ooh, this is juicy. Synchronicity 3.4. Alignments change. Reveal and heal 1.5. I smile for me. Ha! Synchronicity 4.6. I share with love. Inner Child 3.2. I am attentive to my needs, with needs in capital letters, Reveal and Heal 3.2. Face your fears. Wow. Okay, this message is so significant. Reveal and Heal 3.6. Excitement energizes. Yes. Oh, it's too excitement. Inner Child 2.1. I am eager and excited. All right. So obviously what's going on right here is, I'm going to tell you what's going on. I'm going to tell you what's going on right now. This very long message, longer than my leg, is really trying to tell us that honoring yourself is something that's exciting. Looking at a situation from a different perspective is exciting. Because how does it feel to feel like you have no solution, your back is up against the wall, and when you look around, you realize the wall is actually a launching pad that's going to propel you forward. Isn't that something to be excited about? So we're going to start at the beginning. Self-awareness 3.3, I am vulnerable for me. And mental transmutation 1.3, thoughts become things. Now, I'm going to combine these two affirmations real quick. First of all, we're going to go into the word vulnerable. 4 years ago, when I was inspired with this affirmation in the backyard, anchoring, loving little Haiti, breastfeeding mommy baby, I was looking at vulnerable as something that is really transparency. I learn and I grow, and I learn that being honest about vulnerabilities is a big part of self-awareness because we see where we need to be protected. Having a vulnerability is a weakness. It is a place where people can get to you. It's like growing up always yearning for the love of your parents. It puts you in a vulnerable position in relationships in the future because you might overcompensate because you want to be loved. Being aware of your vulnerability puts you in the position to maximize or modify accordingly as you see fit and choose to pour love into yourself in that place where you're vulnerable. It's like a hole in the wall, right? Let's say that there was a weak spot in the wall and you slam the door open too hard and it knock a hole in the wall. That wall has a vulnerability right there. You know that wall has a vulnerability right there. So that means you know that you have to take special care. Not only that, you know that if you do something, you might have to fix something. Like if you do something like open the door too hard and it bounce back, you gotta put a hole in the wall and you gotta fix it. Or you can think ahead and play chess, not checkers, and put one of those plastic circles at the approximate location where the vulnerability is so no holes occur. If we put that in life, if you know for a fact, for example, I'm going to use myself as an example. I'm vulnerable because I have a soft spot for taking care of people and seeing the greatness in them even before they see it for themselves. So I know that because that's a vulnerability for me, I must pull back if that person does not see their own greatness or they don't want to see it. Because I might set myself up for destruction if I push them too hard where they don't want to be pushed. That's self-awareness. The fact that this is 3.3, when you take away the point, is the master number 33. I don't even have to say anything else about that. So if we keep in mind that our vulnerabilities are for our self-awareness journey, then we also know that thoughts become things when we apply mental transmutation 1.3. Our minds are so powerful that we literally create the very thing that we're dwelling on. Now, since this is a Mercury Day love message for transmuting with love and gratitude, we transmute what we don't want to think about. We transmute with love and gratitude. A way to transmute that vulnerability that I spoke about earlier with love and gratitude is I appreciate that gift of vision that I have to be able to see other people in their greatness even before they do. And I love myself for it and that gift. But out of love, I also apply that discernment to know when to push somebody into their greatness and when to fall back. And because I know that thoughts become things, I'm not going to dwell on why, because I know that the why does not matter. Thoughts become things, so I won't even put my mind in a place to think that anything is wrong. If we have gratitude for it all, we'll realize that even something that might have looked wrong, like I said, a setback is a setup for a step up. But if you keep complaining about it and looking at it as a setback, that's what it's going to be. But if you know that thoughts become things, and all you have to do is have gratitude for the situation to see the silver lining, the benefit that's waiting for you, the gift of the lesson. You know, Synchronicity 3.4 came up, alignments change. There's a lot of these. I'm going to rearrange these affirmations real quick. Right? I'm going to move Synchronicity 4.6 to the top. Because when it comes to thoughts become things, I share with love needs to come right behind. I share with love and reveal and heal 3.2, face your fears. I'm going to rearrange it a little bit for a special reason that I'm about to change right now. I'm going to share that right now. All right. So I share with love, right? So we just spoke about me being aware of my vulnerability. That is it really a vulnerability? Only if it's not being shared in moderation. Everything in moderation, because even something good in too much is not good. So Synchronicity 4.6, I share with love. So I will share this vision I have for this person with them in the most loving way possible. Why? Because even if I'm afraid that they're going to reject it, it's the reveal and heal process that's inviting me to face my fears. Face your fears. Some of us fear difficult conversations more than anything in the world, which is why Synchronicity 4.6, I share with love, is sitting on the table right now. Well, it's technically sitting on the floor, as you can tell, you know. But we share with love. Because when we share with fear, when we share with contempt, when we share with resentment, it's not the same share even if it's the same message. And because thoughts become things, I use my thoughts to find a way to share with love. I literally rearrange the words until I come to the conclusion that this is the most loving way to deliver the message. Mostly because Inner Child 2.3 sitting here, I love sleep like a baby. You know what helped me sleep good at night? knowing that I share with love, knowing that I'm facing my fears, knowing that I'm attentive to my needs, knowing that even though alignments change, I smile for me. I smile because even the scientists said that smiling benefits your mind space. I could be feeling grumpy, miserable, vexatious, or frustrated. And as soon as I start smiling, I feel better because the muscles in my face tell my body to release a certain hormone. I smile for me. A smile is something that you see on the outside, but I smile for me. In the same way that everything I do for me. Even art of healing. These experiences are what I want for me. And I smile for me because no matter how much somebody tried to provoke me to wrath and vexatiousness, literally this morning, I have people trying to pick a fight with me just because I'm throwing out my garbage in the same way I throw out my garbage all the time. I like to think that I'm an all-star ball player. So I throw the garbage into the dumpster from afar. So imagine I throw my garbage this morning like usual, and I have somebody that obviously wants to provoke me to wrath, right? Shouting that I should throw something else, throw something else. I mean, I had to say it just like that because that's how they sound, raucous. I was so surprised. And that's just showing so much synchronicity 3.4 alignments change. Because this was somebody who I thought was divinely aligned to do the work at Art of Healing. However, they decide that they want to go shack up with the enemy. So I leave them alone because I smile for me. I smile for me. Right? And because mental transmutation 1.3 is right here, thoughts become things. Why would I think about them when they are no longer aligned with the mission? Because alignments change. It's a part of the synchronicity. I'm attentive to my needs. I need protection. I need to feel secure. I need to feel like when I step out my front door, I don't have anything to worry about. So what was the first thing I did? I looked to the neighbor and I said, do you see that the person you're housing is attempting to war with me? He said, she's right there at the bottom of the stairs. To me, that was funny. Because that means one of two things. He is tired of their bullshit, pardon my French. Right? Because I mean, how could you watch two people come to stay in my house to help me with the Art of Healing mission, and then all of a sudden you're okay with them living in your house and not talking to me anymore? As a man, what kind of man are you? Sound like a scavenger to me. Birds of a feather. You know what happened right after? I walked past this same young lady that was talking about throw something else, and she was taking off her earrings in true ghetto fabulous ready to fight manner. I walk right past her like she don't exist. Because thoughts become things. And I love sleep like a baby. I love to sleep like a baby peacefully. And I know that there's no peace in engaging with war. So why would I engage with somebody who is obviously at war with themselves? You know what happened after that? I've had a most exciting day. I'm bouncing off the walls, okay? Inner Child 2.1, I am eager and excited. Because I protected that little inner child with me in me by letting her know I'm not afraid to speak up on your behalf. I'm not about to be bullied, baby. And when I get home, I'm going to do what I have always done when I face bullies in this community. Because see, when you do a certain kind of work that brings a certain kind of upliftment and truth, First of all, the truth irritates the demons in the liars. When you're a hardworking person, it irritates the laziness in them. So they don't want to see it. This is not my first time being bullied by the very people that I'm looking to help. I've had to report a number of people to the elders on my building. And I will be doing the same thing when I get home, more reporting. Because if we don't have community, what do we have? We live in close proximity to people every day and don't say anything. These ways must change. At my home in Little Haiti, I'm ashamed to say I lived in that house for a year and a half before talking to my neighbors. It was the hurricane that brought us together. No electricity. They watched me dig a hole in the ground and make a fire to cook my dinner. And they asked me to build a fire for them, and I had to. It would behoove me if I didn't. That is what I mean when I say a setback is a setup for a step up. Because I stepped up in unity in that day, just because we don't have electricity and we all want to eat hot food. There are many situations in life just like this waiting. You think I'm not looking at this situation as a setup for a step up? As a way to show the elders on my building, look, I'm not into what they're into. So please, help me, just like I've asked for their help before. Everybody in that corner is so close to each other. It's what I've witnessed only growing up in the islands. You must look at your situation from a loving, grateful perspective to be able to see the solution. Because like always, the solution sits right there, smack dab in the middle of the very same situation that's troubling you. The only thing we need is a different perspective, a shift. And I like to use gratitude for that shift. Can you imagine being grateful for somebody bullying you? Being grateful for somebody wanting to pick a fight? That's where I am right now. Because I'm so excited at the way that I handled myself. I'm so proud for not allowing myself to be provoked to wrath. That excitement has energized me all day. I literally got asked, what is that light in your eyes? And I said, hope.
There you go.
You can't make this stuff up. In real time, baby. And that inner child in me is eager and excited to go home, as opposed to being fearful and dreading going home. Why? Because my inner child knows that I'm going to defend her any means necessary. The art of war shares that the best battle won is the one not fought. And I like to say that war doesn't decide who's right. It just decides who's left to clean up the mess. Let your mess be your message of hope for your own self. Sometimes we're put in situations to force ourselves to honor ourselves in ways that we never did before. I'm looking at this as my way. Jay Electronica said in his song, Ezekiel's Wheel, never swallow slanderous lies for the devil's satisfaction. Remember, alignments change. It's okay to feel super strongly about somebody and the connection and the potential of the work that you can do in the world. And then because of their actions, whether it's lack of discipline, respect, tact, or just general tasteless behavior. It's okay. Because alignments change. Just remember that when you smile, smile for yourself. As you reveal what needs to be healed, remember to smile. The smiling is very powerful. I've definitely been cowballing, you know that ugly cry in the shower. And when I start smiling, I feel like, what are you doing? And I start laughing at myself. And then before I realize it, I feel way better. Don't knock it till you try it. This is Lisa Love anchoring Love Live from Art of Healing Community Center in historic Overtown in the Butterfly Room. Currently set up as a boutique. Here's the selfie wall. It's actually the photo and video room with this big giant white wall, but you can get a tour later. I just want it to be said that a big part of the reveal and heal process is facing your fears. Did I feel my heart pounding when I realized that somebody was trying to fight me? Yes. What was I afraid of? I was afraid of beating her into a pulp because it's not fear. You understand? I'm 6 foot tall and I have lucid rage. I'm not one of those people who don't know what happened. No, I know exactly what happened because it's like Neo in Matrix. Time slows down and I'm doing every hit for maximum impact. It ain't fear. So why would I operate out of fear? See what I just did there? Why would I operate out of fear? When I know that the only way that they can demand an audience with me is to try to stir up beef. You're not respected enough to speak to me. You cannot address me. You have no autopsy, no home training, no discipline, irresponsible, uncouth. So of course the only way to get my attention is to try to create beef. Well, guess what? The only beef I'm into is the one that I throw in the pot. Don't get cooked. Don't make the mistake of thinking that the one that is skilled at peace is not well versed in war. I choose peace because I love to be sweet. It's more fun that way. So as you go about this Mercury day, Mercury is all about communication. We in Mercury retrograde shadow very heavy. I want to say Mercury goes retrograde officially tomorrow. And the shadow is usually more intense than the actual retrograde period because I like to think of it as the dark side of things. Remember to transmute each situation with gratitude. Ask yourself, is it worth it to be provoked to wrath? Is this not distracting me from my own greatness and my divine mission? Maybe that's a lesson that you must prove to yourself. That you don't have to prove you don't have to prove anything to anybody but yourself. Because what do I have to prove? But to myself, as I show up obediently, anchoring love with gratitude.